you don't know what you don't know yet. The advantage that more elderly folks have, such as me, is that you can look back over a lifetime of struggles and attempts to serve in various ways and find what works and what doesn't work. So, in my opinion, it would be best if youth and old folks would work together. Isn't this our country, both our country? So I would encourage the youth of America to ask the tough questions and not be impatient about receiving answers from folks who have gone through the mill and have gained some of that experience, because you can then not repeat some of the mistakes that you've watched the other folks go through. So let me give you a good example of that. We broke away from England and had a painful revolutionary war. And we gained some difficult experiences from that. Now England, the United Kingdom, is one of our strongest allies. So my recommendation is to not burn your bridges, but find ways to build alliances and learn from the mistakes that our forefathers made, and learn from the wisdom that they gained as they put together the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Believe it or not, they did a really, really good job, and we've been a city on the hill for 200, almost 300 years now, with the government that our forefathers put together. I dare us to do better than that, but we're in a different time now, aren't we? We've got technology revolution, information revolution, we've been to the moon, so there are different challenges that we must face. So
the disadvantages for running for office as a young adult is the lack of funding. Most politicians have networked and have far more money than the average person. The advantages for running for an office for young adults is technology. The available technology through social media is a valuable resource.
There's a lot of advantages to running as a young adult. First of all, a lot of young adults have time. and I'm kind of on the borderline, I guess, what you call a young adult. I'm 31, so I'm getting into the 30s. I now have a young daughter. So it isn't going to be long now before I'm like an adult. I think one of the things that I've discovered is I'm glad I ran now, because I have more time than I may have had a couple years from now. Also, I find that we have more energy. We're energetic, we're passionate. A lot of young adults are idealistic, and that's a good thing. And so running with that idealism and that passion really has its advantages. A disadvantage, I think, is kind of the double-edged sword, the other side of the coin of that very thing, is you're idealistic and maybe a little naive. And so you find that you find a lot of roadblocks, you find a lot of discouragement along the way. You get the older crowd who maybe don't take you as seriously. A disadvantage would be at first they just don't take you seriously. They kind of brush you off, but you can work through that.